Yo, what's good? Welcome into the show. You're watching Philadelphia 76ers Now. I'm Chase Sr., and no matter where you are or how you're tuned in, we appreciate you for making today's show a part of your day. And on today's show, this man right here, my dream trade target for the Philadelphia 76ers this offseason, and we're going to talk about him here on the show because Bleacher Report proposing a juicy and fascinating Mikal Bridges 76ers trade, and we're going to discuss. We're going to debate it. Does the move make sense? First, we are doing a sub-battle between two powerhouse channels inside the walls here of Chat Sports, 76ers Now, and the Miami Heat Report. We've picked up so far this month 296 new subs. To all of the real ones who have hit that sub button, thank you so much for supporting the program. But the Heat Report edging us by 28 subscribers. They've picked up 324. Let's beat them. Let's continue to grow the empire. And you're a winner at the end of the day because you get year-round Sixers coverage. As for that Bleacher Report, Mikal Bridges trade. Bring him home. Philadelphia drafted him and then traded him away for Zaire Smith. Yes, a move that I am still not over, but we can correct our wrongs with a new man running basketball ops in this front office in Daryl Morey. Here, the Philadelphia 76ers would receive Bridges and Dorian Finney-Smith, a player who I really like. He can defend multiple positions, has that corner three down pat, and is an excellent defender indeed. Then the Nets receive draft compensation. A 2024 first-round pick, 16th overall. A 2026 first-round pick. And then in 2030, a first and 2 seconds. So Philadelphia doesn't have the player capital to give up in an acquisition for Bridges, but they do have a lot of draft picks that they can use at their disposal and put it in the gun chamber. Here's what Bleacher Report had to say about the Sixers, Nets, Bridges trade. Trading Bridges on draft night of 2018 after originally making him the number 10 overall selection out of Villanova was a mistake Philadelphia should now try to correct. With roughly $55 million in cap space this summer, the 76ers have the option to pursue free agents or take in salary from teams without having to send players back. Bridges is 27, most durable player in basketball, averaged 19.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 3.5 dimes in 82 games this past year. His high-level defense and three-point shooting make him the ideal starting small forward between the Sixers' two stars and Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. The Nets do this to collect the 3 first-round picks, and for the salary cap savings, this trade would clear $38.2 million worth of salary off the books, making it more likely to re-sign Nick Claxton and pick up another impact free agent. Like I said, bring Mikal Bridges home. Went to Great Valley, went to Villanova. Philadelphia just lost to a couple of Villanova Wildcats. Do not let Bridges go to the New York Knicks because that would make me sick. You know what wouldn't make me sick? Bringing in a player who's ascended, who's gotten better, who's turned into a very elite two-way player, who's very durable, who would be an excellent fit next to Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid because he doesn't need the ball to be successful and he's comfortable in not having the ball. This is also a player now who can get his shot from anywhere and has added a little bit of a dribble game to his arsenal. This past year, those 19.5 points, 43.5% from the field, 37% from three-point range. The year before that, he really started to cook after the trade to the Nets from Phoenix in that Kevin Durant deal. 20.1 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, almost 47% from the floor, 38% from three. Then you look the previous 2 years, he's playing on some really solid squads with some ball-dominant players. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, a part of that Suns team that made it to the NBA Finals. He was a critical member of that team. And I think that he's not really going to give you maybe the 20 points that he did with the Nets, but not going to go as low as like the 13, 14 points with the Phoenix Suns. Can you find that middle range? I mean, I'm not discounting his ability at all. I'm just thinking, if Maxey averages 25 and Embiid is averaging 30, all you need from Bridges is 15 to 20. And if we're sitting pretty at 18, he's knocking down the trifecta. He's playing high-level defense. That's a perfect fit for this team. And the advanced shooting numbers, I'm really intrigued by this. In the restricted area, 62.1%. In the paint, 41.5%. Mid-range, 40.8%. And then from downtown, 37.2%. That goes to show you he can finish. He's got the mid-range and the pull-up. He's got the length to hit contested shots. And alongside Maxey, alongside Embiid, he's going to get some vacant looks from three-point range. He can bury those as well. And we're also not talking about the fact that Dorian Finney-Smith is a playoff caliber player who was a great player as part of that Mavs team that made it to the Western Conference Finals a couple of years ago alongside Luka Doncic and Jalen Brunson. That's a player who's long, can defend, and knock down the 3-2. That gives you depth. So would you accept this trade? A for accept, D for decline. I like it a lot. And sometimes Bleacher Report will put together these trades that will just never happen. But for Brooklyn, they can shed salary and get some draft compensation. They are not close to competing in a high-leverage playoff spot or even getting close to making the playoffs. The best thing about that organization right now is Bridges and Ian Eagle calling games because he's their regional sports network announcer on the Yes Network. Chip, I'm all in because Bridges, for so many reasons, is affordable, is a great fit, is a really good two-way player. He's been durable. And then you have the story of correcting your wrongs of trading him away a few years ago when his mom was working in the damn front office.
Absolutely. I agree with you on all those fronts there. As you said, the two-way ability. He can stretch the floor, attack the basket, obviously coming back home, correcting for the mistakes, as well as getting Dorian Finney-Smith, who you mentioned briefly. He's a tremendous player.
Yeah,
he's a guy who could come in. He could start next to Joel Embiid at that 4 position and be that perfect 3-and-D player. Also with Bridges, and we'll get to this in a second, he's so affordable, making under $30 million this season. Even getting both of them, Bridges and Dorian Finney-Smith, that costs you way less than if you have to spend $50 million on a KD or a Paul George or Jimmy Butler. That saves you almost $20 million right there to go out and spend in free agency and make this team better. Look, he is, in my opinion, as you said, the perfect fit. We saw him in Phoenix be sort of a third, fourth option, then saw him go to Brooklyn, be able to grow his skills. He's clearly not a number one option, right? He was really good when he first got there, leading into that playoff in the second half of the year. Mm-hmm. But he's not a number one scoring option. He's not going to lead a team to a championship, right? I think the Nets, they've kind of refused to realize that and maximize their ceiling. They kind of been in rumors to add people to their roster right now, such as Donovan Mitchell. But I think that the Nets need to sort of realize, hey, we have a certain ceiling. With Bridges as our best player, let's get some more draft capital. Let's reset. 3 first-round picks from the Sixers. Sounds like a good haul to me, and the Sixers get 2 players that can help them right now. Bleacher Report, this is a tremendous trade idea. If he's available, Morey, get on it, baby. Get on it.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure he's the number 2 on a championship team, but on this team, he doesn't have to be the number 2. He could be the number 3. Can you imagine what a Bridges could have done against a Jalen Brunson? Games 1 and 2, Brunson was cold. After that, cooked Philadelphia. Does it happen if Bridges is on him with that length and that size? We have some great stuff still to come here on the show. You don't want to miss it. Continue to hang out with us. Right around the corner, moves that the Sixers could make after trading for Mikal Bridges. In addition, we'll look at some of the 76ers salaries here and what the team might look like as well if you want to continue to talk ball with us. You want to put some money down on some ball? Make sure you do it with Prize Picks, the best daily fantasy sports app in the game. And they make daily fantasy sports so easy where all you have to do is pick 2 or more players. You choose more or less on their projected stats, and you can win up to 25 times your money. You can do game picks. You can do future season selections as well. A lot of variety there. $100 deposit match too, by the way, at prizepicks.com/CLNS. For the Wednesday slate of NBA action, here are our picks. Al Horford, less than 18 points, rebounds, and assists. PJ Washington, he's been playing awesome for the Mavs. More than 24.5 points, rebounds, and dimes. And then Evan Mobley, without Donovan Mitchell in the lineup with that calf strain. The Cavs are cooked. 16.5 points. We like the more there. Win big money. Withdraw your winnings. All within the Prize Picks app. Pick more, pick less. Pick Prize Picks today at prizepicks.com/CLNS. As for the 76ers salaries here, if they were to make this trade and elect to bring back Paul Reed, you have Ricky Council already coming back to Philadelphia. We're going to go with the Tyrese Maxey, $13 million on the cap hold. Of course, he's going to receive the max from Philadelphia. But Embiid, $51.5 million. Bridges at $23.3. Dorian Finney-Smith, his nickname is Dodo, $14.9 million. Maxey at the 13. Reed just a tick under 8. And then Ricky Council at $1.8 million. Again, as we said, right after the Sixers signed him to that deal, if he ends up being a rotation piece, it's a good value play for Philadelphia there. Now, the Sixers would have $29 million to spend with the construction of that roster as we showed you on the screen, with those salaries being paid, as well as, in addition to that $29 million, a $12 million mid-level exception. The first thing that you could do is sign external free agents, and then you can re-sign some of your own players who you'd like to keep on this team. As for some of the 76ers free agent targets that would fall in that affordable price range and price window, Malik Monk coming off the bench. Can you imagine that? Malik Monk coming off the bench, 40+% three-point shooter, getting some open looks and opportunity for him to also handle the basketball. He can drive to the cup and finish. Andre Drummond is a backup center to Joel Embiid. He's been the best backup center that the Sixers have had behind Embiid throughout Embiid's career. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, very good 3-and-D player who's just come alive for the Denver Nuggets the last 2 years. Obi Toppin, high flyer, a little bit limited, always trying to chase out on some of those misses to get loose on some transition dunk opportunities, but a spectacular athlete and a good depth piece nonetheless. Then you have Malik Beasley, Royce O'Neal. Gary Trent Jr. would be an interesting player. Imagine him taking the starting role of a DeAnthony Melton, depending on what the Sixers offseason looks like. He can knock down the three. He can create for himself. He's an athlete as well. And then Derrick Jones Jr., who's played great for the Dallas Mavericks, a high flyer, has the corner three, really good lob threat has he developed into for Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Then you flip the page to the Sixers free agents here. You have Maxey, Tobias Harris, Buddy Hield, Nick Batum, DeAnthony Melton, Robert Covington, Kyle Lowry, Mo Bamba, Kelly Oubre, and Cam Payne. Our potential free agent plan here with that cap space of $29 million, just a great breakdown by Chip. You sign Monk or KCP, and let's shovel out $18 million to one of those two players. Then you sign Andre Drummond to be Joel Embiid's backup for $2.3 million. He might be able to, and I think he will, get more money to go elsewhere for a larger role, but does he want playing time, a pretty solid salary, and then when Embiid plays or is not injured, a very good rotational role? Then you re-sign Cam Payne for $3.5 million, Kyle Lowry for $2.3 million, and then you re-sign Kelly Oubre on the mid-level exception. He played under the vet min last year. You bump his pay up to $10 million. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, I think is a terrific 76ers team that has a multitude of options. You have 3 go-to options, 2 stars, that third star in Mikal Bridges. Then you have a lot of good depth pieces, and you have a bunch of different lineup options, which would give Nick Nurse depth and lineup versatility. So the potential free agent plan here, you re-sign Maxey at $35.5 million on that max. You re-sign Nicholas Batum, $5 million. 76ers total salary, $175.7. The NBA first apron, $178.6. So you're just under that. And then the second apron is at $189.4. which then leads us to the potential roster for Philadelphia. This would definitely be one of the best teams in the East. And you can afford Joel Embiid missing time or being injured, because even without him, this team is so much better and more talented than the team last year when Embiid was out and they were so Embiid reliant. The starting five of Maxey and Monk in the backcourt, Mikal Bridges, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Joel Embiid. And then your backup point guards and ball handlers who can also play off ball, Kyle Lowry, Campaign, Ricky Council as a wing, Kelly Oubre as a wing, and you can probably put Oubre in that starting five if you wanted to bring Monk off the bench. You have some options there. Nick Batum as the backup 4 or 5. And then Drummond and Reed as the backup 4 or 5. Drummond strictly a 5 there in that case. That's a squad right there. If anybody is saying anything other than A, I just disagree with you. But this is America. You can disagree with me. Grade the Sixers' potential roster right here. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know. Type Chip in the chat for cooking up a great show. And we'll catch you next time here on the program.